Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to day 28, episode 28, and page 26 of our Journal in January month-long creative fest for my adventures to create last year. And I haven't thanked you yet for letting me indulge myself by sharing the photos with you and creating this gorgeous journal. And I do hope it's helping. I'm enjoying hearing your thoughts on it, and I'm enjoying the fact that you're enjoying it, so that's great. And thank you to anybody who's watching every day as we go along. That's good going. And then when you look back, you'll see how far we've come from our nice simple pages to the page that we're going to create today. This is kind of like we're now adding our mixed media to our journaling. We're using things and tips that we've used previously, but now we're going a bit grungy as well. So that's good for some of you. If it's not your thing, don't do it. Do something else. Use a different colour. Don't do it. Don't ink it. But you know, we're just going through different tricks and techniques as we go, and I think this is a great look to a journal. Everything I do use, I'm going to put in my blog day by day. And we're building up to the review at the end on the last day of January. And there'll be a full detail list there. There'll be links as well for some of the things. As you know, I'm an affiliate for some places, so I have to make it known that I do get a teeny weeny little percentage. And when I say teeny weeny little, it is. So, but it is marked on my blog that I get that. It doesn't affect your purchases, but I just wanted you to be aware of it. So, I shall include links, and I'll tell you what I use as I go on. It's not all Anna Griffin for Journal in January. The majority is, and you know what, I don't think there's, oh yes, there is 2 things that are Anna Griffin on this page. But the rest are all different things I've had in my stash. Now, the photo that we're using, because this episode is called Plane Home and Tickets, quite explanatory. Our plane home, our flight was direct from Atlanta to Manchester, and we flew home, funnily enough, in the same plane that we flew from Manchester to New York in. So we came home in the same plane from Atlanta to Manchester, and it's a plane called Ruby Tuesday, and wow, I just love that. You can see the reflection of my camera there. Look at that. What a great picture. And she was painted on the side. And, you know, we were stood there in Atlanta Airport waiting to board. And I thought, God, that's good. That just looks so cool. And the sun was going down. And we were sad to come home. So that's my photo. Now, the 2 background papers that we're going to use. I'm saying recently, a week or so ago, I put a photo on Facebook and Instagram. I actually go that way around. And it was a screwed up piece of paper. Now, this is what I used. This is what was screwed up, and it's been inked and processed, etc. with different things. And all the photos for this will be on my blog with today's episode. So it'll show you how I've got to this stage. And then all I've done is flattened it out after scrunching it up and inking it, etc. And I've put it through the Xyron machine. Now this side I've stamped, and I've stamped just slightly to the bottom. And actually that's a rub-on. I haven't stamped. I've used rub-ons on this page. And I'm going to peel it off the backing carrier sheet from Xyron. And then I'm going to add it to my page, like so. Now, the reason I've scrunched it up and used lots of ink on it, because I thought we want some texture. As we've gone through the journal, I'm just going to pull this down a little bit, because as it's getting bigger, it's going out of shot. We want some texture on our pages, and I think this gives texture and ideas for something just that little bit different. So you can see I've simply stamped in the corner with, that was a Creative Expressions stamp, a background grunge stamp. And then I used black ink for the corners, I scrunched it up, and then where it was scrunched, I used brown ink on the scrunchies. And then there was also another stamp in the set with the backgrounds, and I've used that just along the edge in the brown ink as well. And it just looks great. It's a good base background for our page. Now, for this page, we're just going to hang fire for this. We're going to do this page first. And this page is the page that's going to have the photo on. And it's simply going to be a good photo with great embellishments around it. And funnily enough, the embellishments, as grungy as it's kind of going to look, are very simple. I've used a rub-on paper that coordinates with the base paper. Now this is actually K&Co paper, and I'll tell you, this isn't my normal Anna Griffin page. So if this isn't your bag, you know, I'll see you tomorrow. But it's just something a bit different. So that's my rubbish falling out of my box. So I've used coordinating paper, and I've used a sheet of rub-ons across the top of this. And I'm going to simply add it onto our base page, because it tones in and it just looks great. Matches, and then we can go ahead and add our photo over the top. Now I've written a journaling tag, and it says Ruby Tuesday is going to take us home safely through the night, and it's actually the same plane that we flew on to JFK. Fancy that. I've made a little tag and just folded it over, and then I'm going to add this underneath the photo. So I'm going to slip that over the top of the photo, and so it lifts up. Now what I could have done and should have done is just made something to sit in there. I think we'll add a flower actually. We haven't added any flowers for a while, so we could add one of our painted garden flowers. That would look good. And then I can add this to my page, and then we can add everything else around it, she says. There we go. Just that last piece of tape there, and that will sit to the top of our page like that. And then we can add, while I think about it, let's add a great flower to the back of that. So for when anybody looks, it just covers over. I know you can't see that, I've gone out of shot, but not to worry. Okay, so that's my photo with my tag on it. So people can lift the tag and look at the photo. Now under here, I've stamped out the aeroplane that we used at the very beginning on the base pages. I've stamped it out, and I've used a die that was a film strip die from Holtz Alterations. And I've simply added on the back a piece of white card and then stamped in it all the aeroplanes. So I'm going to add that towards the bottom of my page. And then I've also got, now this is, you know how early on I said I really like definitions. So this is one of the Making Memory stickers, and it just simply, I think, sums it up about travel. So we can add that underneath our picture. And then we can turn our attention to the opposite page. Now we've got our base page, and you've seen how we used rub-ons. I've made 2 rub-on pieces of, well, on cardstock. I've folded them and I've put them on a base of black, and then I've stamped the back of the cardstock with just the aeroplane to make it look like it's maybe airplane paper. So I can peel the back of the black cardstock away. There's no measurements for this, it's just, you know, I folded it over so that it would hold on the black and then look like that, because we're going to use this section, and it's just something a little bit different to hold our tickets. Now I've used the larger page protectors here. I've got boarding passes and luggage memory, you know, that they put around the luggage, don't they, so they don't lose who you are, apparently. And I'm just going to add those there, and the other one at the side of it there with the boarding passes, like so. I'm not worried about covering the tape up here. For this page, it's just going to add to the effect. I've got another strip of the airline that I'm going to add to the bottom again. And then I've also got another little sentiment journey. Actually, that can go over that side there. And it just says journey travelling from one place to another. So we can add that there. And that is our page finished. Now, doesn't that look complicated as you're looking at it now and you're thinking, oh, how was that made? How did you do that? But now you've seen it all put together, you can think, oh, that was quite simple. It really did come together very quickly. And it is incorporating things that we've done before, the techniques that we've used, the stamping, and we've taken it on to the next step. And it's another great page for my memories and building up our gorgeous journal. And I just think for anybody that's not ventured into the mixed media for journaling or for even cards, this is the quite grungy colours. However, I've mixed it with the blue, so we've got the beiges and the naturals and the black. We're bringing the blue in, and it's just dipping your toe into the water, and it just still looks great. So another good idea. Please share any of the journaling days. You know, if you're enjoying it, let me know, because I love hearing from you. Please check my blog for the photos for the background. And again, let me know what you think. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you tomorrow.